All right, staying with our story that we broke just before going into the break, the ICICI Group top boss Chanda Kochhar and MD of the Axis Bank Shikha Sharma have been summoned by the SFIO in the PNB Bank fraud case. In fact, this is a separate case of 5,280 crore working capital facility which was given to Gitanjali Group, which is owned by Mehul Choksi, who is uncle of Nirav Modi. Both of them are absconding. Now, let me quickly cut across to Virendra, who is breaking the story on India Today. Virendra, again, just explain to our viewers in what capacity have they been... All right, we've lost that connection with Virendra's back. Virendra, in what capacity both of them have been summoned? What is it that the agency is expecting to understand from them?
Ankit, first of all, we are standing right opposite the Serious Fraud Investigative Office. This is a place where Chanda Kochhar, the head of ICICI Bank, and Shikha Sharma, head of Axis Bank, have to arrive here for face the questioning before the SFI officials. The important issue here is for the investigation is that the 31 banks, the consortium of 31 banks, had given around 5,280 crores of working loan facility to Gitanjali Group. That was during the period of last 1 year. And in fact, India Today was the first to broke that story that 10 days back. And today, the head of SFIO confirmed to India Today that they both have been summoned to give us more information about this working loan facility. For what reason they have given this facility of around 5,000 crores to Gitanjali Group, and what kind of collateral they have taken, what kind of the securities they had taken. If they had not taken anything, then why they had given this? This is a basic line of the questioning that would be part of the interrogation today. But another crucial aspect here. When we spoke to the head of SFIO.
All right, we seem to have lost that line with Virendra. We'll try and reconnect with him for more on this story, as Virendra was in fact giving us details of this consortium of various banks which has given this facility for working capital to, in fact, Gitanjali Group. In that connection, both of them have been called. The consortium is led by ICICI Bank, which is the one of the biggest, in fact, lender in this entire consortium, along with Axis Bank as well. Both private banks. Virendra, you were telling us about the conversation that you had with the chief of SFIO. Go ahead.
In fact, there is an very important issue here is that the SFIO head told India Today Group saying that if both individuals like Shikha Sharma and Chanda Kochhar fail to accept this summon, and if they send a representative with all the crucial details and documents, then also it's okay with us, because for our intention is to get the information and all those crucial details why these bankers had given this working facility to Gitanjali Group. That is very crucial part, because though they have summoned both of them, even if they send their officials to SFIO office, then even that's okay with them. But overall, yes, both have been summoned in this crucial facility given to Gitanjali Group, that is Mehul Choksi. The amount is big. The Punjab National Bank fraud is around 12,600 crore, and another working facility of 5,280 crore is under investigation even by the sixth agency, that is SFIO. Back to you, Ankit.
As you were clarifying, it's not that they have been called in the capacity of an accused. They want clarifications from both these top bankers, and that is why they have been called. Tell us about what sort of a impact would it have on both these banks in the share market as well, because both of them are big private banks.
It's too early to say, Ankit, on that, because definitely the stock market will react, but it's a very too early. It's a very because it is a stage where these kind of a questioning is taking place across all the agencies. Because if you remember, when CBI filed a complaint, searches were on, even the accused were not been arrested. Even that time, ED and CBI had called many Punjab National Bank officials for the examination. So even both these individuals like Chanda Kochhar and Shikha Sharma have been called for the examination. They have been summoned for the examination. Not not for they are not accused anywhere.
Right.
But still, if they both the individuals send their official capacity with all the documents in their hand and submit to the SFIO, even that's okay with them. But officially, the SFIO has summoned both of them because for them the information and documents and details of it
right
given to Mehul Choksi company is very important.
Stay on with me, Virendra. We are also being joined by Rajiv Dubey. He is the managing editor for Business TV Today Network. Rajiv, if I can very quickly come to you, what does this, because Virendra clarified that both of them, the top bankers, have not been called as an accused. They just want some information from both these banks in another set of case against Mehul Choksi. What does this mean for ICICI and the Axis Bank?
See, I think it's part of the ongoing investigation, and like we have been saying that, in most of our discussions on this subject, we've been saying that this investigation has to expand to a whole lot of other people who could be or may have been, involved in the decision making of many of these things. And, loans of this nature, 5,000 crore, 2,000 crore, or of, $2 billion, they don't happen at lower levels in the organizations. Besides, the FIPB clearance, this is the other thing that is happening, that needs to happen at some point in time, which is that the FIPB clearance that had been given by the officials in FIPB at that point in time, they also will have to be talked to, will have to be interrogated and discussed exactly whether there was ever any pressure from the finance minister of that time, P. Chidambaram, to clear that. And remember, Economic Affairs Secretary used to be the head of the FIPB when FIPB was active. FIPB, Economic Affairs Secretary at that point in time was D. Subbarao, who finally became the governor of RBI. So at some point in time, they will have to discuss this with D. Subbarao as well, exactly whether there was any pressure from the finance ministry. As far as the banks are concerned, this is part of the ongoing expansion of the investigation so that they know exactly who was involved, how much was the money involved, how much was done legally and how much was done illegally. Many of these loans are done with collateral. Now, if the loans have been done with collateral, I don't think banks should have any problem with that, nor are they affected by this. But if the loans have been given without collateral, that's when banks get into trouble.
Raji, also just explain to our viewers, this also is systematic or symptomatic of a larger problem in the banking system of the country. Earlier, people were saying, it's only the public sector banks which do not do due diligence. Now it seems that the ambit is much more, even the big private bankers also involved.
So, Ankit, in all, this is another thing that people do not understand at this point in time. 12,000 crore or $1.97 billion, about 13,000 crore, is only the amount of the LOUs. Now, people do not understand the fact that there are other loans that had been given to both these organizations independent of these fraudulent LOUs. Those loans apparently total something between 13,000 crore to 15 to 16,000 crore. So that is an additional amount which has gone into, which is in danger now, because this will turn into an NPA, since these companies are now shuttered. These companies are not functional. There is no way that these companies will ever be able to pay off this loan unless these companies start functioning. So 12,800 crore of the fraudulent LOUs, another 15 to 16,000 crore of loans that had been given to these companies. We are talking of a 27 to 30,000 crore problem here in the banking system.
Very interesting that you make this point, Rajiv, because Nirav Modi, in his only possibly statement in this entire controversy, has said that, now you have closed the doors for me to repay you back. I was trying to talk to you, trying to repay my loan. How do people understand this? If they are called fugitives, if they are not able to pay it back, it is a bigger problem, isn't it?
This is precisely what he was referring to. What he was referring to is the fact that by shuttering my businesses, by such a clampdown on my businesses, you are essentially ensuring that this loan never gets paid back. This is precisely what he was referring to. And between Mehul Choksi and Nirav Modi's companies, the loans just in Mehul Choksi's companies are over 8,000 crore, 8,300 to 8,400 crore. The rest is with the Nirav Modi companies. So about 13 to 15,000 crore more has been jeopardized by these investigations, which have actually shuttered most of these businesses.
You know, Rajiv, also before I let you go, it's baffling to understand how these sort of loans, huge amount of loans were given without proper due diligence, and that is why we see all these, you know, be it Vijay Mallya or Mehul or Nirav Modi, all of them seem to be at a very confident place because, you know, they feel they are fail safe, because if you come after us, your money goes down the drain.
Yeah, so you know, very often, so the loans that are given for businesses will typically come for collateral. Now, what that collateral is something that we need to figure out, because the banks haven't disclosed exactly what collateral they took against these loans. These collateral could be assets of the company, they could be, you know, buildings, they could be shares of the promoters. We need to figure out what that collateral was. These loans are typically against collateral, but the problem is, even if they are taken against the assets and the businesses and let's say land, building and other things, and even the shares of these companies, now that has really no value at this point in time because the businesses is shut.
Yeah. You know, also, Rajiv, just tell our viewers, in general sense, these collaterals, are they equal to the amount that is being loaned by the banks? What's the ratio?
Normally supposed to be equal or higher to the amount. Very often when share collateral is taken, and if the share price goes down, the bank asks for additional shares as collateral. So normally they are supposed to be equal or higher to the amount that has been taken as loan.
And as the investigative agencies say that they have recovered some you know, gems and diamonds and so forth with all his assets and everything, will that be enough to recover that? And if that does not come back, Rajiv, then what is the kind of situation or the crisis that these big banks are looking at?
At all. I mean, all the recovery that is being talked about so far is in the region of about 6,000 crore, and that also we do not know whether that is the markup value of the jewelry, that diamond that has been talked about, because if it is really the markup value, it's going to be about 1/10 of that will be recovered, or about 1/5 of that will be recovered, between 1/5 and 1/10. So the real value of this will only be known after all the valuation has been done. As far as land and buildings are concerned, they will obviously be at the market value today, but shares have really no value now because shares have already tanked, and shares you know, because business is shut. So shares have no value. If the shares have been taken, jewelry and diamonds will have to be at the real value of jewelry and diamonds, because they can't be at the market price or the markup value that has been indicated on that jewel. And as far as the buildings are concerned, they will have to be the market value. So the real recovery from the government's point of view is going to be substantially less than the 6,000 crore that they claim to have recovered.
Absolutely. A crisis as far as the banking sector, to say the least, in the country. One of the biggest banking fraud. Thank you so much, Rajiv, for joining us with your inputs on this story.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.